So the walk today is around the Lake of Ullswater from Howtown to Pooley Bridge. Now to do that I have to get the ferry, as you can see in the background there, from Pooley Bridge to Howtown so I can walk back. That's the plan today. It's about a 6-mile walk and it is a lovely day at the minute.
Nothing left, so hold on tight as the hurricane breaks defense. Stay hidden from the causes that might let go of your hands. Take me away, I'm running for my life, for my life. What's with your delay? You're only killing time, killing time.
We are in Howtown, well at the dock at Howtown. There's the lake, we can spin around. The ferry, you can probably see in the background there, somewhere. It's there somewhere, I can't see it on my screen, but it is off to Glenridding. You can actually walk that way to go to Glenridding, or you can walk that way to go to Pooley Bridge, which is what I'm doing. So, let's go. And we are off. Keep on trucking, Daisy. That's it. Of course, the usual dilemma is if I get lost in the first mile or so, just joining the route, but I don't think I will. Yay, thought I was heading the wrong way. Apparently not. Okay, we are on the route. So problem number one I'm going to have, quite muddy. So I face a choice later on whether I go the low track, which isn't really that low, or whether I go the high track. I think I'll stick to the low track. I was going to consider being adventurous and going for the high track, but I have a feeling if it's muddy on the high track, which I think has less of a path and all that sort of stuff, may be a bit risky on my own. So sticking to the traditional route, which is nice enough, and off we go. I think I'm learning from these practice walks that my Lumix camera is the camera too much, and that my photography skill means I end up just taking snaps anyway, so I might as well just switch this camera from movie mode to auto and click the picture. It means I only have one camera. It means I take more pictures, which is the main thing, right? So I promise I'll do all these great things with my Lumix camera. Too much workflow. Dog, 2 cameras, stopping, swapping. I think I have to be practical and admit that on these walks and when it comes to the Canadian Rockies, just use the one camera. I'll let Jack do all the fancy stuff with his Canon. Are you enjoying the walk? Very pretty. Two things. One, I've just done quite a long elevation. Not scrambling up a mountain or anything, but I think in times past that would have really tired me out. Well, I did it all in one go without stopping this time. So I think things are already improving. But we'll see. Second, this is one of 4 walks you can take that circumvents the whole of Ullswater. So this one goes, as I said, Pooley Bridge to Howtown, then you can go Howtown to Glenridden, and then on the other side of the lake are two other walks which cover the other side, which I think start from Glenridden and also finish at Pooley Bridge, but I don't know much about them. They're a bit more awkward to do in terms of cars and stuff, because I don't think the ferry gets you to a place where you can walk back unless you want to do both at once. So buses or leaving your car at the car park and involved, and then figuring out public travel other than the ferry. So I've not done those yet. Well, this one's nice. The Glenridden one is also nice, but it's a bit more, it's longer, and it takes a bit more out of you because it's less of a path and it has sort of like, you know, like small mountain steps, lots of elevations. It's very hard on Daisy Dog because of her little legs. So we like this one. Daisy, leave that sheep alone. Come on, this way. This way. This is the problem. It's easier with her off the lead, but I don't want her chasing mountain sheep. Okay, this is where I face a choice. Keep them going that way is what's called the low path. Going up that grassy bit there, I don't know exactly where it leads, is what's called the high path. I've been tempted, but I think I'll leave the route I don't know till I'm not a solo walker. I think that makes sense. Oh yeah, it is very nice. Very, very nice. These Sunday walks are everything. So, funny story. Last time I did this walk, I was on a 3-day holiday in the lakes. I stayed in a cottage. I think you may have been able to see it, part of this walk, so I'll show you it if you can see it. Brilliant. It was sort of a test before I went to Disney World on my own. Nothing like Disney World, but I figured, you know, let's try 3 days sort of on my own, see how I like it, that isn't in my house. So I did this walk. What was funny was, not so much the people running the walk, though that was the first time I'd saw that and was a surprise, but this old bloke, he must have been late 50s, but really I think he was probably in his 60s really. You know, he had that sun-worn, wiry sort of Greek look, and he basically walked ahead of me on this walk because I was going that way this time to Howtown that time, and he basically met me when I was 3/4 of the way there. He bypassed me on the way back. So his morning walk, he said, most mornings was 6 miles from Pooley Bridge to Howtown and back. He got a coffee and stuff in Howtown, had a bit of breakfast, and then walked back. Now, if I can do that in my 60s, I'll be happy. Okay, this presents me with a dilemma. Is that the upper route? And that the lower route by the lakeshore? If so, I think this mythical high level route is what I normally take. So I'm going to go that way and hope that is the route I took last time. Okay, how Lord of the Rings is this? Assuming I don't kill myself on this rock, because I don't have elf-like footing, neither do I have elf-like eyes to spot the crows from Dunland, but this is absolutely, right there, amazing. Whew. Excellent. Okay guys, does this want to make you run an epic fantasy role-playing tabletop game right now? That is just amazing. Wow. Everything. Prep for Canada fact. Even though it's only maybe 8 degrees, I don't think it's over 10, you heat up on these walks. So as I know, layers are a thing, but what this is teaching me is the sort of layers. Because I think this is the sort of weather I'll have in September, you know. High single figures or into the mid to high teens. So I'm learning, and I think what I need is 2 layers, then a 3rd layer which is probably part of the coat, and then the coat. And then I can strip layers off. So what I'm going to do in future walks, once I've made a purchase, because I'm eyeing them up at the minute, so I'll make the right choice. Because of course I would like any haversack backpack I buy for Canada to A, hold the camera, B, act as a hiking rucksack but not an overnight one, and C, also be the cabin baggage on the plane. It may be that factor that I can't combine. But if I don't do that, it means I have to put my backpack in the hold, or somehow fit it in my suitcase, which I don't think will be a thing. So that's what I'm trying to combine at the minute. Once I have done that, these walks will be used to experiment. That's an interesting little gate. Will be used to experiment with the backpack for Canada. As you say, ready for Rockies. Interesting but not that fascinating farm fence, and then boom, amazing. How disappointing would you be if you were an actual hobbit, because all you'd get is that. I keep missing Daisy Dog because she keeps staying by my feet. You're not running off, are you? You look like you want some water, but you've had water offered, you didn't take it. Crazy. Don't know to what degree I've mentioned this on the vlogs. Probably have in passing, not really gone into detail on it. Not going to go into detail on it this time either, but when I was married, we flirted with emigrating to Australia. We actually went there, we'd sold our house and everything, and we were going to stay. Ended up coming back. Longer story for another day. One thing that amazes me about some of the people who were wanting to migrate at the same time as us, it's very much a thing in the UK due to all the house prices and all these programmes, go and sell your house, move to a hotter country, all that gabbins, was people who wanted to move to New Zealand purely because they wanted to live where they could see Lord of the Rings scenery. Now, a bit like I said on my North Yorkshire Moors coastal walks, where people go, oh, California coastline. If you live in the northeast, you have it an hour away. And then this, if you want to sample Lord of the Rings countryside, don't emigrate halfway around the world. Just come to the lakes, god damn it. 8,000 steps has just give the fireworks on my Fitbit. So there you go, I'm 8,000 steps as we go. Not really sure how far through I am. I'm pretty sure I could use my Fitbit to tell me how many miles I've done. Well, that's a bit beyond me at the minute. I'm using it for the most basic of functions. Update on the high-low route though. This is the high route, and B, this is the one I did before. So anyone thinking I've took some sort of ridiculous high route which will catch me unawares, sadly no. There is no spoilers to see here. It is the route I took last time. It's just it wasn't clear it was the high route because I started at the Pooley Bridge end. Where's Daisy Dog? There's Daisy Dog. You're staying close to us, aren't you? Which is good. She's been off the lead for the whole walk. Hasn't chased any of the dogs. Hasn't gone crazy with the sheep. So, Daisy Dog lead etiquette is more better organised than last time. Tell you, pretty sure my stamina's increased. I feel way less tired than I normally would at this point. I think I'm onto something. The high route is getting a bit higher though. Is getting a bit higher. I have a feeling I'm going to do this quicker than I think. So I might get home earlier than I thought. At the risk of there being spoiler alerts in the background to this footage, I'm going to show you the most amazing image I had when I did this walk the other way a couple of years ago. Because I didn't know it was coming, and I crested a hill and I literally stopped for about 5 or so minutes just staring at it. So I'm going to try and replicate it when I get to the top of this hill. decided it is time to have a little rest, which is fine, because the views I have while I'm having this little rest are like, wow. Yeah. I know they're behind me at the minute, but absolutely amazing. I know I said it last time when I was walking that Filey coastal path. Sorry, rain's a bit addled. Robin Hood's Bay coastal path. These Sunday walks are amazing. I check the weather continuously all week for a Saturday or Sunday slot, because even though it's not a holiday, it's just a day on a weekend in a normal working week. It feels like I've had a holiday. That's what it feels like. This is just so relaxing. It is hard to describe. Amazing. Are you having a rest as well, Daisy dog? You don't rest very well, do you? You usually want to get moving. You do your at me to start moving again, don't you? I'm not as fit as you. Good talk. Okay, so this is interesting. So I'm assuming you can see this obviously when it's a larger video rather than my little LCD screen. But in about the centre of this video is the pier that I think is the Pooley Bridge one. So somehow I get from here round and down, not actually back to that pier because I'm parked in the village, but there you go, bit of navigation. Are you off-roading, Daisy dog? Eh? You never rest, you'll get tired. Okay, I've come across something I came across last time. I want to see if you think the same thing. So, you have a panel, don't know what that is, and then you have these metal things, as if those open and you can access something, or even in the case of that one, crawl down into somewhere. I can't be the only one who thinks there's a guy in there and every 90 seconds he presses a button because he thinks if he doesn't the world will end. It's so lost. Okay, let us see if we can duplicate my moment of awe the first time I did this walk. So you have to keep in mind, I was coming from the Pooley Bridge way, so I'd walked along this row section, and the bits of the lake I'd seen were sort of the Pooley Bridge end. Nice, but I'd seen them numerous times due to actually walking by them lakeside, because I was in a cottage which led down through a caravan site and a sort of camping site to the lake edge, so I was familiar with it. And then I happily walked up here like I'm doing now, you know, not caring the world, not really thinking about it. I'd done a little uphill section, so I was gasping a bit. Daisy dog was with me, I wasn't vlogging. I probably marvelled at this little stream a bit, and then I came round this bend and boom, I literally just stopped for 10 minutes. I think I sat on this little outcropping here and just got lost in a sight I'd never seen before, because I'd been to the lakes before but never saw it from a height. I don't know how long I just stared at that, but that was the most amazing thing I saw of my 3-day lakes trip, because I saw other amazing sights, but this was the first one that just sprung up on me. So there you go, I recreate it as best as possible for you. Tell you, it was pretty amazing. In answer to the speculation of can you walk across the top of that fell, I think it's a fell, the answer is yes. I just had a brief talk with that family. They're about midway up, that's the route you take, and you go along the top. One day I might do that as a challenge before I go to Canada. So I think Canada may involve some sort of scrambling like that rather than these neat paths that I'm doing. Who knows, depends how off-road we go. But walking along there would be immense. So these were the sort of views I was getting before when I walked the other way, before I crested the hill. As you can see, the dramatic difference was amazing. it's not the same coming this way. I would recommend anyone does Pooley Bridge to Howtown, I think, rather than Howtown to Pooley Bridge, just because I like to think the best scenery is better in the latter half of the walk than the first half, because it keeps your momentum going. But yeah, that to what happens when you overcrest that hill. Whew. Are you coming, Daisy? Are you off-roading again? Come on. Good dog. Now what you're going to do? You're going to stay off-roading? Okay. Ready for Rocky's lesson number whatever. I need some sort of pouch for this camera so that I can use the little tripod to maybe slot it in here. Not that I can use it like a GoPro, that's not the intention, but sometimes I just need to get it out of my hands so I'm not holding it all the time, I'm not filming with it. At the minute I've got no convenient place to put it, so not sure how that's going to work, but I definitely need some sort of holster for it. So we'll see how that pans out. Another spot rest, not because I need one, but just because I can. Amazing. Crazy thing is, I don't remember this river, little valley thing at all. It completely went from my memory. Absolutely crazy. How did I forget that? I'm going to go down in there. That is amazing. Oh, I'm having a drink. I keep giving you water, Daisy. Yeah, I want to go down there. Okay, I'm down in the valley now. I don't know what you can see because my screen just blurs, but because of the sun and stuff, but absolutely amazing. Just wow. Have you lost me, Daisy dog? Are you coming? Come on, you can do it. That's it. Good dog. Good dog. You could sit here for so long you'd turn to stone like a troll, right? I think you'd be making a crazy amount of time. I'm way ahead of time of what I think I would be. I think I'm going to finish it an hour or so ahead of what I thought. There's part of me that thinks I should have just brought my Kindle. I know that sounds crazy because I always worry that I'll not do these walks in time and I'll get lost or whatever. I worry too much about it. But there has been at least 3 spots along this walk where I could have just got my Kindle out and sat for an hour and read my book. Absolutely amazing. I said I'd show you where I stayed last time, so if you follow the ravine, just follow it with your eyes, and then somewhere above my finger, I think, there is some brown cottages. I'll see if I can zoom in. That is where I stayed. Somewhere just there. And you can walk down through the caravans to the campsite to walk by the lakeside. It was very nice. Worst nightmare. Daisy dog just went out of sight and wasn't responding when I was shouting. And she responded, but not long enough. I did start to panic. I like to keep her in sight. She's always okay. She never really goes far from me, but you know, she'll just get obscured by some scenery or a bush, and then if she doesn't respond when I shout, it really does make me nervous. Come on, are you being good? Not a game of hide and seek, Daisy dog. I do sometimes wonder what it would be like to do walks so high. Maybe this would actually count almost like mountain climbing. I don't know, not an expert. So high that you enter low-lying cloud. That would be epic. There is some walks like that in Canada where you literally walk what looks like across the spine of the top of a mountain, and they do look amazing. But I just have this feeling that getting up there might be beyond me. Well, we'll see. I do want to do something truly epic that feels like I couldn't have done it here. And that may be wrong, because as I said, you can often find stuff at home that you grow abroad to do. But, you know, something really special that makes me just go, shit. And something so high that you're in low-lying clouds would maybe be one of them. I think the other spectacular thing we could do, but it's really off the cards, is an overnight hike. There is literally overnight hikes that are essentially just mountaintops all the way. You feel like you're walking across the spine of the mountains for like a day or two. But yeah, that take your tent with you, camp overnight, 2-day hike thing, that is a bit beyond us. But I can understand the amazement of them. Currently having trouble figuring out whether I'm still on the path or off the path. Not sure whether that's a path. Normally that would cause a minor panic, but I pretty much know where I am now. I'm almost back, to be honest. So I'm okay, but yeah, not sure I'm on the path. It may mean I'll miss the opportunity to show you the little stony stubs of what was some sort of, I don't know, ancient stone circle or something. I think it's a distant memory from last time I walked this route, but maybe I'm not on that exact path now. But I'm not lost, which is the key thing. Since we've off-roaded, we are navigating a ravine. So where those people are who are walking up there, that's where we need to be, but the path we should have walked is where those people are, if you can see them. And we're down here, so we're navigating, trying to navigate this ravine without falling over and sliding all the way down on my ass. So this is it, the path down to Pooley Bridge. Or if you're coming from Pooley Bridge, the path up to the walkway that you take all the way to Howtown. Just want to say before I sign off, I think, because I'm literally almost at Pooley Bridge, stamina has been totally different on this walk. It's hard to describe. I've just had less rests. The inclines haven't involved me stopping every 5 or so minutes. I've just kept sort of going. And the 2 or 3 rests I've had, well, say 3, I think 3. 2 of those were because I wanted to just stop and watch the scenery rather than me needing to. So technically I've only stopped once for a rest due to being out of breath and stuff, despite numerous, not massive inclines, but long and continuous, which can do me in. So I've been doing the weights and I've only jogged once. I didn't think the weights were doing much for my cardiovascular, but they must be, because this has definitely felt different. So it'll be interesting to see how I cope with a walk that has steeper inclines, but I do feel there's a difference already, which is fantastic. So that's about it. Please consider liking or subscribing this video, certainly post a comment. Until next time, I will leave you with that amazing view.